Shall we? Because, we're led into it rather beautifully with trust. Should we talk about trust in politicians? The question was posed in a really provocative way, but let's use it because I think it's interesting. Where have honesty, truth and integrity gone in politics? And do you think politics has deteriorated? Who's been waiting a very long time? Andy Kinnear has been waiting a very long time, calling us from Newport. Hello.
Hi there, Anita. Thanks for having me on the programme.
No, it's my pleasure. You know what? The Newport contingent is turning out in full force. Were you there last night?
I was, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm a regular listener to both programmes, but it was interesting to see it as well, simply because this topic of trust in politicians, and the lady Julie who raised it, I thanked her afterwards, because in the programme, anyone who's been listening to it last night or today will have heard that a lot of the politicians, they would praise themselves, their party, and highlight what they're planning to do, what they're promising. And then the first opportunity, they would pick holes in their counterpart or refer to mistakes made in the past, which has become a recurring pattern of all politicians. That fact that politicians are human like the rest of us. They make mistakes, they do things wrong, and that gets magnified, not just by the politicians, but in the media, in the current affairs, and we do it ourselves. I've been guilty myself on social media. And there was one stage I was going through a dangerous point of being rather iffy, shall we say, towards politicians in general. Mm-hmm. And my father said to me, because he's interested in these things, see if you can arrange to meet your MP. Speak to them, talk to them about the issues that concern you, assess them, see what you think of them. Mm-hmm. And that's why in this election, I'm not listening to anything that's being said. I'm not reading the manifestos. I'm going with my gut in the sense that my local MP is someone I have met. She's very nice. I think she's very good. She's trying her best.
Okay, let's not name them because then I'll have to name everybody.
No, I'm not going to say anything like
okay,
that.
Go on. Mm-hmm.
I will simply say the party she represents is not one I would normally support, but because she is the MP who I think has been trying to do a good job, I will vote for her, even although I don't trust what's happening in the news with the seniors.
Okay, so you don't trust the news, you don't trust the media, you think things are too adversarial. I just want to know, how do we fix this? I mean, if this is the case that you don't like, Andy does not like watching, politicians sparring with each other and knocking 12 bells out of each other. Okay, so how do we change that? Because we have an adversarial system of politics in this country, two sides facing off against each other. You have them vying for the same vote, your vote, my vote, everybody's vote. Mm-hmm. Do we get the politicians we deserve then? Because we want, there's a part of us that wants to see.
It's part of that. Part of it, I think, is, as I said, I did a little bit of research. I met my politician, I looked at information, and I do follow the news. I am interested in politics itself. But the lesson that I've learned is, and I think a lot of us right across the country need to do this, you have to remember, when we're voting for an MP to represent our area. Although we are in a democracy, and thank goodness we do have the right to vote, the problem is that we need to focus on the areas that concern us as a regional area and accept that the people who sit at the cabinet table, they're never going to be perfect and they're never going to be the people that we would ideally choose. So there is an element of compromise.
Okay, Andy, thank you very much. And because we mentioned Newport and because you mentioned your MP, can I just say that a full list of Newport candidates is available on the BBC News website.